In the midst of the Second World War, amidst the bustling streets of Los Angeles, a cultural revolution was underway. This is the history of the Zoot riots, a seismic clash that reverberated through the heart of America, exposing the raw nerve of racial tension and inequality. The Zoot suit wasn't just a fashion statement. It was a manifesto of identity, a declaration of resistance. With its exaggerated proportions and bold style, the Zoot suit embodied the spirit of a generation determined to carve out their place in a society that often marginalized them. For Chicano and African American youth, the Zoot suit was more than clothing. It was an armor against discrimination and oppression. In the face of systematic racism, the Zoot suit became a symbol of solidarity, a rallying cry for those who refused to be silenced. But with the rise of the Zoot suit came a backlash from white servicemen and civilians who viewed it as a threat to the status quo. As tensions simmered, the streets of Los Angeles became a battleground for conflicting ideologies and simmering resentment. In the summer of 1943, the powder keg exploded. The Zoot Suit riot erupted in a fury of chaos and brutality, exposing the fault lines of race and power that divided the city.
Instead of protecting the rights of the marginalized, the authorities in Los Angeles embarked on a controversial crackdown, targeting Zoot suiters and turning a blind eye to the violence perpetuated against them. But even in the face of injustice, the spirit of resistance endured. Community leaders and activists rallied together, demanding accountability and fighting for civil rights. The Zoot Suit riots exposed the deep-rooted racial divisions within American society and sparked a national conversation about prejudice and discrimination. While the riots eventually subsided, they left a long-lasting impact, prompting calls for social justice and civil rights reform. The Zoot Suiters, once vilified, are now remembered as symbols of resistance against oppression and advocates for equality. The legacy of the Zoot Suit riots is a testament to the resilience of those who refused to be silenced, who stood up against oppression and injustice. In the echoes of the Zoot Suit riots, we hear the voices of those who dared to defy, who fought for freedom and dignity. Their story is our story, a reminder that the struggle for equality continues and that together we can overcome.
In the immediate aftermath, the streets of Los Angeles were littered with damaged businesses and traumatized families. The media often blamed the Mexican American community for the violence, further stigmatizing an already marginalized group. Law enforcement's response was swift and harsh. Police arrested many young Mexican American men, frequently without clear charges, targeting them based on their appearance and association with Zoot suits. This response highlighted significant racial biases within the legal system and drew attention to the controversial Sleepy Lagoon murder case. Several young Mexican Americans had been convicted on dubious evidence, and public outcry following the riots brought increased scrutiny to their plight. This led to their eventual exoneration, showcasing a need for judicial reform and fairness. These riots galvanized the Mexican American community, prompting them to organize and demand better treatment. Activists and community leaders formed key organizations, such as the Mexican American Legal Defense and Educational Fund. These organizations became instrumental in the broader civil rights movement, fighting against discrimination and for equal rights. The community's response also fostered a stronger sense of cultural pride and unity. Efforts to preserve and celebrate Mexican American culture grew, reinforcing a shared identity and solidarity that empowered further activism. Cultural pride events and educational programs began to flourish, creating a foundation for ongoing civil rights work.
The legacy of the Zoot Suit riots. It is complex but powerful. They exposed the racial and cultural intentions in American society and underscored the necessity for civil rights protection. The riots and the subsequent community mobilization demonstrated the resilience and demonstration of the Mexican-American community and their fight for justice and equality. Today, the Zoot riots are remembered not only for the violence and prejudice, but also for the crucial social change they helped catalyze. The community response laid the groundwork for future civil rights advancements, serving as a reminder of the enduring struggles for equality. In conclusion, the aftermath of the Zoot riots was a period of reflection, activism, and transformation. It highlighted systemic issues of racism and injustice, while showcasing the strength and resilience of the Mexican-American community. This legacy continues to inspire and inform immediate movement for social justice, proving that out of adversity, communities can find strength and solidarity.